Hello everyone, my name is Holly and I will be the English trainer for this hour. And this is a pronunciation and reading lesson. So we will be reading through a joke and learning new words. So, all right. Hello Johnny, how are you?
Hello, Holly. I'm good. How are you?
Very good, very good. Are you recovered from your trip yet?
Not yet. Still just like remember the moment when I was there.
Uh-huh. You're still talking about it and everything?
Yes,
Excellent.
and maybe at the moment, so maybe catching up with the friends and share the good thing about travel to them.
Uh-huh. Okay. And so you're still talking about the trip and
A little
yeah,
bit.
ex excellent. Well, that's good because that means that you did have a really good trip. So so
But apparently my colleague and probably my manager, they didn't care what I
uh-huh.
was being like. How to say? Uh, They didn't care the time when I was traveling. So how can I make into the correct sentence?
Um, they don't really care much about your trip.
Okay, yeah.
So
They
yeah,
didn't care about much about my
they don't
trip.
care much about the details and things like that in your trip.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that happens, I believe. So hello,
Okay.
hello, Julio. How are you today?
Hello, Holly. Doing okay?
Yeah. Did you finish 4400?
I'm about to finish the third season,
Third season,
and
okay.
it's Jordan Collier just got back, and things are starting to get interesting again. You know, the start of the third season was kind of slow. You know,
Uh-huh.
when this girl like suddenly was an adult, and
Yeah. Part of it just kind of escaped me. I want to watch it again, but because there were some details that I actually missed. But when I tried to watch it, it was too early. So because it's more fun to watch something if you've forgotten more details. You've forgotten about everything, but yeah. Apparently she turns. No, I can't tell you more. Never mind. Never mind.
well, what I read is that this actress that was acting as Lily, you know, the
Uh huh.
mother of this girl,
Uh
that
huh.
she ditched the series, well, the drama, TV drama, and she went to another one,
Uh
and that's
huh.
why they had to like rearrange the whole plot in order to kill her.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, I think that
Oh.
maybe things got a little out of control because of that.
That might be that does happen. It's and the series has to decide. Okay, do we kill the person or do we replace her with a new actress? So or put her on permanent vacation or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, is it old?
Yeah, yeah. How are you? I'm fine.
Good. How are you doing? Remind me where you
Good.
are from.
I'm from Mauritania and I live in Qatar. I'm living in Qatar now.
Qatar. Okay. What time is it in Qatar right now?
Sorry?
What time is it in Qatar? About
It's 8 a.m. 8
7? 8
4
a.m.
Yeah.
Okay, 8 a.m. All right. Excellent.
And how
Yeah.
about place where are you?
Okay, I'm actually located in Idaho, and
I Idaho?
Idaho, it's in the Pacific Northwest region or the mountain region of the U.S. So it's in the north and not really the middle, but not the west. So,
Uh-huh.
but and so it's a small farming agricultural state
Hmm.
um, in population, but we actually have a lot of land, and most of our land is made up of national forests.
Yeah. What time now?
So right now the time is 10 p.m. So it is still Saturday here. So
Oh,
yeah,
no, we are in Sunday now.
yeah, and then Johnny, Johnny over here is in New Zealand. What time is it where you are?
Sunday, 6 p.m.
Sunday at 6 p.m. And then Julio is in Mexico, And is it 11 p.m. where you are?
You're right.
You're right. Okay. So
I have
yeah.
a question. Sorry
Uh
to jump in.
huh.
Uh, how do you call? Sorry, because I'm really ignorant. How do you call people from New Zealand?
Well, I call them Kiwis. Is
Kiwis.
there any other words, Johnny, that people call themselves?
Kiwi is the word.
Kiwi is the main one. Yeah, I think
Yeah, or maybe
I knew
New Zealander.
I've heard New Zealander as well, but I think
Yeah.
Kiwi is the most common. And I'm not sure actually where that comes from.
Oh, kiwi
Maybe the
actually
fruit.
it's a bird. It's a bird.
It's a verb.
Yes, because as I know that there's a fruit called kiwi fruit, but
Uh-huh.
actually kiwi is a bird, so they think the bird is quite rare, so
Uh-huh.
they call themselves kiwi.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just thought, well, maybe they make a lot of kiwis and as far as the
yeah,
fruit and um,
yeah. New
there.
That's
Zealand,
a,
New Zealand is famous for the sheep. There are
Uh-huh.
lots of sheep in New Zealand.
Yeah, and they have like Australia, there's a lot of land and few people, so isn't there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are lots of land, but it's not for sale.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So excellent. All right. Well, today's a lesson is going to be a little bit different than I've ever taught here on Verbally before. So I hope you guys like it. I came across this joke probably I would say about 12, 13 years ago about the reasons the English language is hard to learn, or the reasons English is difficult. And um, and I started using it as a vocabulary and a pronunciation lesson. And you guys will see why. And at least in my face-to-face classes, it's always been people find it very useful. So let's see what you guys think. So first of all, what we're going to do is the picture. A lot of the pictures, I tried to make it so these pictures all relate somehow to the meanings that we will be looking at. Um, but we have these sentences. Some of these sentences that we will practice, I will have each of you guys practice reading, is makes a lot of sense, and some does not. So we're not looking at grammar. We're not looking at, we're looking more strictly at vocabulary and pronunciation, and then the humor behind it. So, okay. So what I will have you guys do is each one of you will read a sentence, read one of the sentences, and then I'll have it once we learn the correct pronunciation of the words, then everybody else will read the sentence as well. So let's start with Johnny. Can you read the sentence?
The bandage was wood around the wood.
Okay. All right. So you did not get that right. So let's see. I'm just going to have each person read it if it's not right to see if somebody can actually read it right. Julio, can you read this right?
um, the bandage was wound around the wound.
Okay. Still not correct, but closer than Johnny's. So hi, Greg. Welcome. Haven't seen you in a while, so it's nice to see you.
Yes, nice to see you too.
Yeah.
When I
Oh,
checked the classes, it was usually 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and things like that. So now I am here. It is 5 a.m. and
wow.
yeah, so I decided to join.
Oh, wow. So, well, I'm glad you're here. So, excellent. So, this is Greg, as I was telling the guys earlier, this is going to be a different type of class than I've ever done here at Verbling. This is more of a pronunciation and vocabulary lesson.
Okay.
And this is a joke that I came across with years ago. So, Old, could you see if you can read this right? Julio
Yeah.
got it half right. So,
The bandage was wound around the wound.
okay, almost, not yet, not correct. Greg, can you see if you can read this right?
The bandage was wound around the wound.
Okay, so we've got this one correct.
I think I got it.
Okay, do you have it, Julio?
Yeah, I think it's the bandage was wound around the wound.
Perfect.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, the bandage, as in one of these, probably a bigger one, of course, was wound. And I couldn't find an example of a picture where it actually went all the way around the wound. But the wound, of course, is under the bandage. So to wound, this first one is wound around the wound. This first one is past tense of to wind. So if you are winding something around, then the past tense is wound.
To tie something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That is exactly what it is. So this bandage, unfortunately, is not big enough, but I didn't want too many pictures on here. So, but it just goes around, maybe would go around the hand, which is where the wound is. So I typed in wound and I got so many graphic pictures it wasn't even funny. So okay, so the bandage was wound around the wound. So this is one of the reasons the English language is difficult, because we've got wound and wound. Usually why these are funny is they're not usually used in the same sentence. So okay, next one. Greg, could you read this sentence?
The farm was used to produce.
Okay, a nice try.
It will be with word stress, probably something.
Yeah, it has to do with the stress. Yeah.
So it will be the farm was used to produce. No, the farm used to produce.
Nope. Nope.
No? I don't know.
But you do have the right idea. It has to do with the word stress of the two words. So Johnny, do you have a guess on how to pronounce this?
Yeah. The found was used to produce.
Okay, not completely correct, but you've got their idea. So, Julio, do you want to try?
The farm was used to produce produce.
Closer. So, Old, do you want to try this one?
Yeah. The farm was used to produce produce.
Okay, kind of closer. I think the closest one was Julio, but actually this one goes, the farm was used to produce, produce. So this one is not stressed. There's an sound here. Produce, produce. So produce. Okay, first of all, what do these mean? The first one is a verb. What does to produce mean?
To invent, like that.
Yeah, to grow or to make, to invent. Exactly. Okay, the second, produce. So produce means to grow, to invent, to make. And then what does produce mean?
Some sort of maybe fruit or vegetables.
Yeah, because of the pictures. Yes, the section, usually the section of the grocery store that has fruits and vegetables is called the produce section. So produce. Produce, yeah. So this is produce.
Okay.
So produce. But usually we do not use both these words in the same sentence. So that's why it's funny. So the farm was used to produce produce. Okay, the next one. Old, can you try this one first?
Yeah. The dump was so full that it had to refuse more refuse.
Close. Julio, you want to try?
The dump was so full that it had to refuse more Oh, that's the one. They had to refuse more refuse.
Perfect. Yeah, the dump was so full that it had to refuse more refuse. So refuse, what does that mean?
To say no.
Reject.
Yeah, to say no, to reject. Okay, Refuse. What is this?
Rubbish.
Rubbish. Rubbish, garbage, refuse. Okay. Now, what is this about? What is a dump?
The dump is the place where people put all their refuse,
Yes.
garbage and stuff.
It's actually the place where the garbage trucks take the refuse when they pick it up from our homes. So, and then we can of course take stuff as well. So, all right. Next one. Johnny, can you start this one?
Okay. We must polish the Polish furniture.
Yes, you got that one right. So we must polish the Polish furniture. So what does, the first one is a verb. What does to polish mean?
To polish is to make the surface shine.
Yeah. Okay. And then Polish, of course, is
Related to country.
furniture has already been polished, like Polish.
Not from Poland.
yeah, it comes from Poland.
Poland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but you know, we must polish the British furniture. The same kind of idea.
Actually, it makes sense. Actually, it makes sense because I didn't know that, but the Polish furnitures are quite cheap, so there's a strong competition in Europe.
Oh, is there? Okay, see,
Yeah.
that I didn't know.
The-
Okay.
Yeah.
But Greg, you're from Poland, aren't you?
Yes, and this is
Yeah.
one of the jokes why people laugh. There's a Polish and to Polish, you know, and there's a Pol and Paul. So there's like Paul like a person from Poland. So I'm sorry, a Polish person from Poland and Polish to just clean something. But there's a Paul like the object on the streets, and there's a Paul like a person from Poland. So
Polish the Polish pole.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So have you seen this sentence before?
No, actually, but you can see probably some Germans or maybe other people they say they have problems with the Polish furniture because they are so cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that can happen.
Is it kind of is that where IKEA is from?
Yeah, it's probably. I'm not really into the furniture thing, but when I saw the prices in the UK of the furniture, it was shocking, and when I compared to Poland, it was quite cheap, and there's some method behind of this.
Mm-hmm. Now, did I get the flag right?
Yeah, I think it's quite right. This you know, this thing around it. I don't remember how to, because just let me think. Maybe I will look for it and I will show you how it looks.
Okay. Yeah, because I just typed in Polish flag and that's what came up. So, all right.
There's the eagle. Usually there's a Polish flag, white and red, and there's only the eagle in the middle. But that's fine probably. If there's probably maybe there are others.
Yeah, maybe it's an older one or something. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. Julio, do you see that? Microsoft PowerPoint is restarting. Bear with me a moment. So anyway, this is the reason the English language is hard to learn. So the Polish need to polish their Polish. Is that the Polish need to polish their Polish? Yeah. So, all right. So.
A prime minister joking that he need to polish his English.
Yeah. And who knows? He probably does, right?
Yeah, it's true because he avoid journalists.
Yeah. I remember that in Finland. There was really huge criticism of the politicians that couldn't speak English really well. And because of that, though, I had the privilege of teaching one of the members of parliament. So So that was really nice. She ended up coming like 2 years later after I taught her. She came to the place I taught and left a bunch of English books for me. So Holly might want to read more literature. So it was funny. All right. Okay. Okay, the next one. Come on, hurry. Okay. This one doesn't really make a lot of sense, but anyway. Julio, you want to read that one?
He could lead if he would get the lead out.
Okay. Not quite. This one was correct, but not this one. So, is it old? Yeah.
Yeah.
Old. Could you try?
Yeah. He called lead if he would get the lead out.
No, you got it backwards actually. So he in this word right here, we actually do not pronounce the L. So we would say he could.
Yeah, he could.
He could. Okay. All right. Greg, do you want to try this one?
Okay.
Okay.
He could lead he could lead if he would get the lead out.
Okay. The lead out is what you said?
Yes, lead out.
Okay. That is not correct either. Johnny, you want to try? It's a problem with this word right here.
He could lead if he would get the lead out.
Get the lead out. Johnny was right, and then after that, Julio was very close, but it wasn't completely close. But this right here is, this is a magnet, but a magnet is attracted to lead, and so that's why I put that here. So he could lead if he would get the lead out. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. But this, of course, is a reason the English language is difficult to learn. All right, next one.
One question,
Yes.
is where if you have a pencil, the tip of the pencil is made out of lead?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Next one. Greg, could you try this one?
The soldier decided to desert his desert in the desert.
No, didn't get it right. So this is why it's hard to learn, because you guys have to learn all these different pronunciations, and they're all spelled the same. It's like, how do you do this? So, Johnny, why don't you try this?
Okay. The soldier decided to desert his dessert in the desert.
You still have one that you got wrong. Sorry.
Geyser?
Huh? You got. Just to let you know, you got this one wrong, right, and you got this one right.
Okay.
Okay. So, Julio.
The soldier decided to desert his The soldier decided to desert his desert in the desert.
Okay, you got two right, but not the same. So you got this one right and this one, but not this one. So, Old, can you try?
Yeah. The soldier decided to desert his desert in the desert.
Yeah, so the soldier decided to desert. So this is like D-I-I, desert. His dessert in the desert. So you have this word, desert, and this word, desert, that have the same pronunciation, where these two words have the same spelling. How easy is that? So the soldier decided to desert his dessert in the desert. Okay, this doesn't really make a lot of sense either, but what does desert mean?
To eat.
No.
To abandon.
To abandon, to leave. Yeah, so and then of course his dessert is this right here, and you can't really have a picture of of this, so I just put a soldier. And is this an okay picture of a desert, Old?
Sorry?
Is this an okay picture of a desert?
Not really. I think
Okay.
huge. The desert is huge. More than that, because now we saw some mountain or like that.
Yeah, I think it looks more like the desert in Idaho than it does other place.
Yeah.
But anyway, to desert, his dessert in the desert. So this is desert, this is dessert, and then to desert means to abandon. Okay. Next one. Old, can you start this one?
Yeah. Since there is no time like the present, he thought it was time to present the present.
Very good, very good. It's very close. Julio, can you read it and see if you can get it closer?
Since there's no time like the present, he thought it was time to present the present.
Yeah. So the to present the present. Okay. So first of all, since there's no time like the present, what is this present talking about?
Nowadays.
Right now, yes. Since there's no time like now, he thought it was time to present, and that's means to give, for example, a presentation.
To provide, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the present, which is a gift.
Yeah.
So he thought it was time to present the present. And of course, we would say, we would say, in reality, we would actually say it this way: since there is no time like the present, he thought it was time to give the gift. So we would not have these all three words in the same sentence. All right.
That's what I want to know. The person who need to write an essay, a good essay, you should avoid this kind of word. Three words in the same meaning, in the same.
Yes. Yeah. Like I said, these sentences are just basically, it's a joke, it's humor, because we actually do not use these words in the same sentence normally. It's very rare that the things are used in the same sentence. So when you consider especially academic writing, but any kind of writing, you need to remember to try to say in one paragraph to vary your vocabulary. So if you know synonyms, have different words in the same paragraph. So, and for academic writing, at least in English, a thesaurus is your friend.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
I know there is the verb to gift, and I rarely listen to a native speaker saying, "I'm going to gift this present to somebody," or "he gifted me this." They almost always use give. So is that accurate, or do you actually use to gift?
We don't. It's not. It is accurate. People can use that word, but it's not common. It's very rare. Most native speakers will use the word give instead of gifted. I can't even think of when gifted would be used. I think it probably just depends on the person. If somebody is really well read and they want to have a variety in their vocabulary, that's probably when they would use that word. So, but a gift is a verb, can be a verb, but it's not used as much. So.
All right.
Right. All right, Johnny, can you start with this one? Are you there, Johnny?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So, a base was painted on the head of the a bass was painted on the head of the bass drum.
Perfect. A bass was painted on the head of the bass drum, and it would have been so cool if I would have found in fact, I probably should have done this, put this on this right here. So, but
So
I
it's
didn't
a
even think of
bass,
it.
it's a kind of fish.
Yeah, a bass is a type of fish. And then of course you have the bass drum right here. And then of course you have also a bass guitar. And the other word for bass would be the men who sing, who have the really, really deep voices. That is the bass part in singing. Yeah. So if you have a very deep voice, if you're a male and you have a higher voice, you might sing tenor, but the next one would be bass. And then also oh yes, Julio, you have another one, bass and bass as well. Bass, the bass on the in baseball as well. Exactly. Hi Max, how are you?
Hello everyone, hello Holly. I'm
Welcome.
fine, thank you. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. And so what we're doing, Max, is we're doing kind of a vocabulary and a pronunciation activity. I'm showing some sentences that are in a joke, that basically showing sentences that are not normally used, because we don't normally use these words in the same sentence, but I've learned that it's really fun to teach pronunciation this way. So all right, so let's go ahead and get started on this. So a bass was painted on the head of the bass drum. And so we've established there's a few more meanings for bass, but not bass. Bass, that was the only meaning. So, all right. Julio, can you read this one?
When shot at the dove into the bushes.
Say that again.
When shot at the dove into the bushes.
Okay, not correct. I almost thought it was, but it was not. Max, can you try to read this and see if you get the pronunciation correct?
Okay. When shot at, the dove into the bushes.
The dove into the bushes. Okay. Oh, can you try?
When shot at, the dove into the bushes.
No. Greg, can you try?
Well, I can try, but it will be wrong. So when shot at the dove into the bushes.
Much closer. Much closer. The dove dove.
Like dive. Something.
Yes, it's past tense to dive, which is why I have this picture of this gentleman diving into a pool. So, and then we have the bush right here. So the dove dove into the bushes. And dove is past tense of to dive. So it's dive, dove, I believe. Dive, dove. So
To jump into water, to swim pool.
Yeah. And that's the verb to dive.
Dive, dove.
Dive, dove.
And the first one is the dove.
First one is dove.
Yeah.
And so the dove dove into the bushes. Okay. All right. Max, could you read this next one?
I didn't object to the object.
Very good. I did not object to the object.
To the object.
I did not object to the object. Do you guys hear the difference between those? Object
yes.
to the object. I did not object to the object. So, and ob. What does object. What does the first object mean?
Refuse.
Okay, it did not refuse the object, and these are objects.
Objective things.
Yeah. So these are objects in this picture. This first one means to refuse, or yeah. So I did not object to the object. Okay. Next one. So Old, could you read that one?
Yeah, the insurance was unveiled for the invalid.
Okay, not correct. So let's see, Greg. Let's see if you can get this right.
Just a second, because okay.
Okay.
The insurance was invaded for the invalid? I don't know.
No.
No.
And actually, I probably shouldn't have used a dog. I think I was in a weird mood when I was making this exercise. I probably should have had a person in a wheelchair, because that's really what what this person is, what this is. But Greg, can you pronounce this? Not Greg. Johnny. Okay. We'll see you later then, Ahmed. Old.
Okay, thank you.
Have fun at work.
Thank you. Thank you a lot.
Thanks. Bye. So Johnny, are you still there? Okay, maybe he's walked away. So Julio, can you read this one? Try this one.
The insurance was invalid for the invalid.
No. Max, can you try this?
Okay. The insurance was invalid for the invalid.
Very good. The insurance was invalid for the invalid. So in this one, it's invalid. This is the stress right here. For this one, invalid, the stress is down in the back. Invalid. And I probably should have had a person in a wheelchair, because that's really, an invalid is somebody who's in a wheelchair or might even be bound to their bed. And invalid means that something is not valid or not allowed. So, any questions?
I pronounced this correct?
Yes, you did.
the last.
Yeah.
Invalid.
Invalid. No, you didn't.
Last.
The first one is invalid.
Yeah, but
the second one is invalid.
Invalid. Okay. The same in Russian.
Thanks, Johnny. Yeah. Oh, it's the same in Russian. So this one is invalid. This is invalid. Invalid for the invalid. Okay. All right. Next one. So Greg, could you try this one?
There was a row among the oarsmen about how to row.
Okay, close. Julio, you want to try it?
I don't know. Probably I'm gonna say the same.
Oh, okay. Okay. So let me read it then. There was a row, which Greg got right. There was a row among the oarsmen about how to row. So row. So row and row. Row and row. So first of all, what does to row mean? What does a row mean? Anybody know?
When we argue with somebody.
Yes, and it is in British English. So if you're more familiar with American English, you probably have not heard it. But a row is an argument. And then, of course, the oarsmen are these people in the boat. And then to row is what they are doing. So to row and a row. Another word with this pronunciation is a row in an airplane for example, in the middle between the seats, you call that a row. So that's another one as well. So, okay. All right. And this one is actually quite difficult. Yulio, you want to try this?
They were too close to the door to close it.
Yeah, they were too close to the door to close it. Very good. So close and close. So it's just a slightly, a very, very slight difference. Does everybody understand what this means?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But why we have bunny on the picture?
Oh, I was just looking for a picture that was too close. So,
okay, I got it.
So I kind of thought that's kind of too close. So there were some other ones that I found that were kind of more weird. So, okay. Max, do you want to try this one?
The bug does funny things when the does are present.
Okay.
Sure,
Not correct. But nice try. So the buck does funny things when the okay, it's in this word. Greg, do you have any idea how this would be pronounced? Because we got everything else right except for this.
Does something
No.
like that.
Maybe does. No.
Julio, do you have any idea what this pronunciation would be?
I guess it is those.
Does, yes, you are correct. So the buck does funny things when the does are present. Okay, so what is a doe?
It's a female deer.
Yes, and a buck is a male deer. That's the female and male right here. So the buck does funny things when does are present. Okay, all right. Next one. Max, do you want to read this one?
I seem stress, and the sour fell down into sour line.
Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you actually got it right. So a seamstress and a sewer fell down into a sewer line. So it's you didn't have it stressed as strongly as I would, but fell down into a sewer line. So we have a sewer, which is actually the same as a seamstress, that sews clothes, and then we have a sewer line. Does everybody know what a sewer line is?
Sure.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So next one. All right. Julio, you want to read that one?
Sure. To help with planning, the farmer taught his sow to sow.
Very close. I would stress it just a little bit stronger. The farmer taught his sow to sow. So sow to sow. Okay. So what is a sow?
It's a piglet.
And yes. So this is a sow. So what does the verb to sow mean?
It means to put when you are growing something, you gotta put the seed into the ground.
Yes. So to sow means to plant seeds, actually. And we have a saying in English. You reap what you sow, and usually that is talking about If you sow happiness, you will reap happiness. So you get what you give, basically. Have you guys heard that before? You reap what you sow.
We have the same in Russian.
Okay. All right. All right. So let's go to the next one. Max, could you read this one?
Okay. The wind was too strong to wind the sail. Maybe it's...
Very good. You're actually quite good at this. The wind was too strong to wind the sail. Okay, so to wind, we had the first sentence we had was wound, and then the past tense of to wind is to wound. So wound and wind. Okay, everybody understand these words?
Sure.
Yeah, you guys are good. I've had students that don't understand half the words in here. So, all right, Greg, could you read this one?
After a number of injections, my jaw got number? I don't know.
No. Anybody have a guess on this one, Julio?
I'm just gonna read it and see how it comes out. After a number of injections, my jaw got number.
No. Does he read it the same way? Max, do you have a suggestion? I'll tell you where the problem is.
I know. After a number of injections, my jaw got number.
Number. So in this word, the B is silent. So basically, when the dentist gives you an injection, after a few minutes, your jaw or your mouth will get numb. And numb means to not able to feel. And we do not pronounce even though the B is there, we do not pronounce the B. So if you have no feeling in a part of your body, you would say I am numb. My foot is numb, or my toe is numb, or whatever. So
this is adjective.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. After a number of injections, my jaw got number. So okay, and all right. Julio, you want to try this one?
Upon seeing the tear in the painting, I shed a tear. Tear and tear.
Perfect. Perfect. Do you like the little tear I made in this painting? I tried to do it. So. In a face-to-face lesson, I'll take a piece of paper and tear it, and they'll go, "Oh, okay, yeah." So you have, upon seeing the tear in the painting, I shed a tear. So, all right, next one. Very good, Julio. Max, can you try this one?
I had to subject this subject to a series of tests.
You are very good at this. I had to subject the subject to a series of tests. So, to subject, what does that mean?
To subject, it means let me articulate my sentence. Subject is when you get something into some sort of procedure or a process or something like that.
Research, maybe research.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you I had to, basically I would say I had to put the research, whatever I'm researching, to a series of tests. So the researcher would be the person that would say this. And of course, the researcher would never say that. So I had to subject the patient to a series of tests, or I had to subject the person to a series, or to the dog to a series of tests, or whatever. So, all right. And this is the last one. And Max, can you try this one? No, I guess you've already done it. It's
Yeah.
Greg's turn.
Maybe it's turn, Julia.
Yeah. Greg, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Can you try this one?
Yeah. How can I intimate this to my intimate friend? No, it won't be like that.
Yeah. So, you got this one right. The second one, you said intimate friend, and you actually pronounced that one right. Does anybody know how to pronounce this word?
Intimate.
Intimate. Intimate this to my most intimate friend. Now, I had never heard this word until I started using this exercise like 10, 15 years ago, whenever it was I found this. So it was not a common word, but since then I've seen it in literature and I have seen it used, but it is not. To intimate basically means to tell, or it's when you're talking to a close friend, or for you men, usually it's your wives, that when you tell them how you are feeling. For women, it's usually their girlfriends, their female friends they've known for years, to intimate something. Then, of course, your most intimate friend is the person that you would talk to, actually. So they are close, but this word, of all the words in this entire exercise, this is the word that is probably used the least in conversation, but probably the most in literature. So.
Sure, right. I have a joke, like
okay.
It's similar to that I want to share with you guys.
Okay.
This word that I just typed on the Brevlin chat, how would you read it?
Goatee?
No. This is actually pronounced fish.
Really?
Yes, because you got the GH like rough, you got the O like women, and you got the TI like nation. So it is fish.
Wow. No, I had no idea. Is that like Greek or something?
It's just a joke.
It is just a joke.
Yeah, just to tell everybody how confusing the pronunciation can be, because actually GH sounds like F in many words.
Yes,
and
it
O
does.
can sound like an I. Women.
And then TI sounds like sh, so fish. Yeah. Fish. Can I use that in the future?
Sure.
I've never heard that one before. So do the rest of you know of any of those kind of play on words type things?
I don't know.
Don't know any, Greg? Let's.
No, I don't have anything like that.
Okay. Let's see if Max, since you were quite good at this, let's see if you could get the first one. Because you weren't here for that one. Bear with me a moment while I go back. Let's see. This is taking too much time. Anyway, all right. So this is a reason the English language is difficult to learn. And I believe in your languages, do you also have words that are difficult to learn because for foreigners, because they have like the similar spelling and different pronunciations or anything like that? Or is it just English?
Pretty much just English.
Just
Uh,
English.
Yeah, yes.
Spanish is my native language, so
Uh-huh.
I know a lot of foreigners that
Uh-huh.
want to master the Spanish language. And I actually have a friend who is Canadian. He has been living here for more than 20 years, and
Uh-huh.
he still can't get down uh, the articles like masculine and feminine
Mm-hmm.
because you
Really?
guys don't use them that much. We have feminine and masculine for every single object.
Okay,
So
just like French does that too.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, because I remember in Finnish they had endings. Their prepositions were all at the end of the words, and the words that were in the dictionary were never the same words. So, because they changed the words around all the time. So, um, what is difficult, Max, about learning Russian?
Russian the same, as said Julia. We
Okay.
have we have endings and I don't know how to explain this. We change words
Mm-hmm.
every time. We connect each word with other words
Mm-hmm.
by adding endings and
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
hard to
Okay.
explain.
Kind of like the Finnish. I know it's not the same language group at all. But how about Polish, Greg? What is difficult about learning Polish?
So I think one of the difficulties is when you changing, the verbs. Actually, the add s sometimes, and in Polish
Mm-hmm.
it's not so simple. So it's like the verb is changing. Sometimes we add something to the noun, something
Mm-hmm.
we add something to the pronouns. Even the simple thing like the two that has many different versions. I would say completely different. I met two people, I will go to I saw these two people and stuff like that. So
And different.
it is like not really different, but the problem is it needs practice, and
Uh-huh.
it's like one word has to match to the whole sentence. So
Mm.
it is one of the things that actually, if there's a person from Russia, so that is a Slavic language, but still, for me, it will be still easier to learn his language, and for him is to my language than
Mm-hmm.
English person to learn Slavic language. But actually, if we compare the Slavic languages, so Czech, Slovak, or I don't know, Russian, the Polish language would be the most difficult from
Oh,
the.
okay. Yeah. So
I
it's
don't know. There's grammar and there's like someone tried to say I'm not really sure about the numbers, but it was like in English there's I don't know 50 sounds, in
mm-hmm.
Spanish maybe 46, I don't know, something similar. So in Polish there will be like 70 something sounds,
Oh
different sounds.
wow, wow, that is a lot. I had a colleague in Finland who, he was actually when he went to university he studied Russian, so he's a Russian literature major. So he learned Russian, and then he started got his certificate in teaching English, and I think he started out in Poland, and he learned Polish, and what he did was he would go to the local pub every day, and he would study the language, but he would also talk to people in Polish at the pub. And then he moved to the Czech Republic, and he did the same things. So by the time he moved to Finland, he knew Russian, Polish, and Czech, and he thought he would try the same strategy in Finland. But the problem in Finland was that people don't talk to people they don't know, even in pubs. So he would go to the pub, and the only people that would talk to him were other foreigners. So it
Yeah,
just didn't work. And so he never, in the 2 years he lived there, he never learned the language. So
this is one of the things that when actually immediately what is interesting, because that is my observation, when someone is from Russia or someone who's from Czech, um,
mhm.
and they start to speak Polish, and they didn't even start to speak Polish very fluently. It's actually there's something weird happened with their accent. I don't know why the Polish language, in this case, for me as a native speaker of Polish, sound a bit of harsh. Because the observation was, I heard many times the Russian sounds unpleasant for someone, but actually, if I will compare to the Polish, it's completely harsh. They use.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, guys, I hope you guys learned some new pronunciations of some words and possibly even some new words. It was a pleasure working with you today, and I hope to see you in another class. So, and it's great to see you again, Greg. It's been several months, I think. So.
No, it's actually not months. I think it was
not
1
week,
month.
1 month. Okay. Yeah, it feels like a lot, but probably not. So I'll say that when it's only been 2 days for some people. So anyway, thank you, Julio. Sleep well, and I'll see you both, all of you later. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Holly.
Bye. Take care.